Hello. How are you folks doing? I hope everyone is having a great morning or afternoon or evening, depending on when you're watching this. This is Triangle Strategy. You may notice that it says Prologue Demo underneath the title. So I ordered a physical copy of this game because I'm a dope who loves physical copies of things. And, well, it hasn't come in the mail yet. But that's okay. Because this prologue demo is, in fact, the first few hours of the actual game, and progress carried out in the demo can be saved, or rather, of course it can be saved. Your progress can be saved. It's a revelation. No, it will be transferred to the full game, so we don't lose anything by starting here. So let me know if there's any weirdness with the audio on stream. I need to check something. And to make sure I'm not getting like double weird sounds. Okay. Let me know if there's like a weird echo or whatever. Because, yeah. Okay, let's get started. We'll mess with our options here because we want to invert our y-axis. I mean, why would you... do anything other than that? These we don't even really know. We want to... I like the fast battle messages. Graphical settings are fine. Volume settings are fine. Unless you can tell me there's something's too loud. Or hi, Grumpy Cloud. HD Rumble. Let's leave the... I like the voice acting that I've heard from this game, so we're going to leave the dub, the English dub on. Now we're going to commence. Thank you for your download. This is the pre-release version that comprises chapters 1 through 3 of the main story. Save data can be carried over, as I mentioned earlier, to the full game. Because my physical copy of the full game has not arrived. We are starting this with the controversial inversion. That is absolutely, like... inverting the y-axis is the mark of an advanced culture and a peak achievement in Western civilization, and I will brook no argument. Battles will challenge your convictions. Battles that will challenge your convictions await in the realm of Norzelia. We hope you enjoy the game. Oh yeah, unit levels in the demo cap at 5. We will go normal. I've played a tactical RPG before. This game, you could probably tell, like, folks...
The faraway continent of Norzelia.
Well, I'll let this play out first.
Powers reigned.
Well, no, okay, so we can pause. Just briefly, you could probably tell from the art style of this game that the folks that helped to make Octopath Traveler have worked on this. It bears that trademark HD 2D... or is it 2D HD or HD 2D? Whatever. You know the style I'm talking about. It bears that art style, which is gorgeous, beautiful, amazing. I love it so much. Clearly, this game has been influenced, from what I've seen, in a gameplay and narrative sense by giants of the genre, Final Fantasy Tactics and Tactics Ogre, which are tremendous games. And the tone of those games narratively seems to also have come in. But there's some key changes to like systems, I think. We'll get into all that as it comes. This is all my impression, though. So let's get into the story.
The Kingdom of Glenbrook, through which runs the mighty Norzelia River, bringing flourishing trade. The Grand Duchy of Esfrost, a land of ice and snow beneath which slumbers rich veins of iron. And in the desert, the holy state of Hyzant, home to the lake from which is harvested the salt essential to life. With each nation controlling one vital resource, conflict between these three powers was all too common.
The game sound needs to go up? Okay, alright, let me fix that, Grumpy. I bumped up the game sound. Let me know if we need to tweak it further, and we shall.
Minor disputes and skirmishes gave rise to fierce battles, and before long, the realm was engulfed in a bloody conflict that would rage on for years. Many brought to their limits and facing their mutual demise, the three powers at last negotiated a truce. The Norzelia Consortium is formed, a neutral organization that oversees fair trade of iron and salt. Finally, peace came to the realm. 30 years pass. Now, a new bond is set to be formed between the Grand Duchy of Esfrost and House Wolffort of Glenbrook, whose power in the kingdom is second only to that of the royal family itself.
Okay. A new bond is set to be formed between Esfrost and House Wolffort. Chapter 1, A Young Hawk Soars. I apologize for accidentally pushing the button twice earlier. I think I skipped some text a little too quickly, but the gist, I believe, was gotten.
Lord Serenoa?
This is our main character.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Congratulations, my lord. The future of Wolffort is looking brighter than ever.
Today's the day, is it not? We're all ready for the big moment.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Master, Lord Serenoa. So, you were here after all.
Hello, Benedict.
Ah, Benedict. It would seem word has reached the people already.
You can thank Eridor for that. He couldn't refrain from blabbing the news to anyone who would listen. I'll have a talk with him after.
How's the game sound for you now, Grumpy? Better?
This is a momentous day, not merely for our domain, but for all of Glenbrook. I do not think it possible to keep it a secret.
This is well and true, my lord, but you must consider your betrothed's lineage.
I'm well aware of the situation, Benedict. I cannot say for sure what repercussions this may have. What I do know is that the people rejoice for us and harbor hope for the future. As the future Lord of House Wolfort, I must rise to the occasion.
Fine resolve, my lord. As House Steward, I will do all in my power to assist.
Thank you, Benedict. It is heartening to have the support of my father's right-hand man.
Shall we head to the port then, my lord?
Okay, better. Good.
So soon? I had thought we would have more time.
Nay.
The river's waters have risen with the heavy rainfall earlier this week. And given the wind, I think it likely that Esfrost's ship will arrive ahead of schedule.
You never cease to amaze. Very well then, let us be on our way.
To S. Frost. Okay, the world map. Selecting event markers on the world map will advance the story. There are two types of events, main and sub. Main events are crucial to the plot, while sub-events are entirely optional, but will disappear from the map as the story progresses. Selecting event markers, okay, yeah, so we know, okay. Roster, inventory, war chronicle, and system have been added to the main menu. Press the X button to open the main menu where you can view your units, prepare for battle, adjust various game settings, and more. Additional features will be unlocked as the story progresses. This game uses autosave, however, blah blah blah, blah blah blah. Cannot save during battle. Quick save data is created at regular intervals. You can manually create quick save data by selecting System Quick Save. All right. So, what do we got on our menu here? Roster, inventory, war chronicle system. Roster, view and individual units details. I think it's just going to be me. Yep. Oh no, and Benedict. He's the tactician. We're both at level 1. I am a swordsman. Those are our jobs. We have 3 TP turn points. We are 1-star units. Let's see if we can get some story details here. Oh no, so this is just the unit details. Shows your unit stats and abilities. You can press the X button to equip accessories. So I have delaying strike, a 1-star longsword. No resistance. Pretty basic stats. High speed relative to the other stats on the screen. No accessories to equip. Raging Beast. It uses 2 TP while my delaying strike Serenoa uses 1. Also, relative, maybe speed is just a higher stat than normal. So, Serenoa, strength, kind of average, magic, 2 jump. We'll be jumping a lot in this? I hope not. Low strength here, higher defense, lower magic attack, higher accuracy. Just seems to be a lesser unit in terms of power than our boy. Okay, so the details is just like, okay, on the moves. Okay, so that's our roster menu. Is there a sub event? So we have access to a small slice of the map at this moment. It looks like we have to proceed with the main story, and so we will do that. An Ace Frost warship arrives at Wolfart Harbor, where a woman with rose-colored hair and her attendant disembark. Best girl, perhaps? We shall see.
I thank you for the escort. You are free to go.
But Lady Frederica, there is no one here to receive you.
He will be along shortly, no doubt. If I have heard true, he is not the type to keep a lady waiting.
You have heard true.
By your leave, then. We wish you everlasting happiness, my lady.
Thank you. I shall work hard, both for my new home and for my motherland. Please let brother, the Archduke, know that.
As you command, my lady. We leave the rest to you, Gila.
I shan't let you down. Phew, Glenbrook at last.
Phew.
We can take a moment of respite from our long journey.
I shouldn't pick on it so much.
That said, it would seem we've arrived ahead of schedule.
I much prefer it to being late. This is a momentous day for Esfrost, and for the entire realm. We cannot afford to make a bad first impression.
The water looks so beautiful. I'm telling in the HD 2D, the water effects are just some of my most favorite things. They are incredible. And some of the stonework, like on the sidewalk as well, looking very excellent.
I agree, which is why we cannot have you looking so tense. Why don't we go for a bit of a stroll?
A fine idea. After all, this may be the last time in a while that I am free to do as I please. Most are not inclined to grant liberty to one of Rosellan heritage, such as me.
You brought that pendant with you?
Interesting.
Of course. It is the only memento I have of my mother.
Uh-oh.
Thank you kindly, little lady. Letting a whole boatload of guards go back home was a stroke of genius.
Oh my god.
We heard
That was a
you
bad
were
move.
Here, and we wanted to be the ones to welcome you.
The winds of fortune are blowing today, aren't they, Pa?
Father and daughter bandit duo.
Stand back, Frederica. I shan't let them have you.
The music was a little like the stakes in the scene are not being, I don't know, communicated well if there are quite serious stakes, right? Because the music was very goofy and the voice acting was also goofy. Let's change the voice language to Japanese and proceed. See if it hits me better. The music was a little, but maybe the scene is meant to be silly. I am not being fair to it. Oh wait, okay, so these two still. I guess I'm still controlling my guys, and we'll head to the scene shortly after their arrival. Frederica and Gila are waylaid by bandits. Meanwhile, Serenoa makes his way to the harbor. Let's swoop in and help him out. Get cut. I'm here, my lady. Me and Benedict. Deme. Okay, conviction. So here is sort of the part of triangle strategy which I am really, really interested in. These conviction scenes where you have to make a decision and you pick one of three choices. And they're equivalent, I believe, to morality, liberty, and utility. And these change your parameters, I believe, or if not changing anything visible about your parameters, like that you have transparent access to as a player, they do push you in different directions of the story and affect certain things about the other characters in your party, like whether or not certain characters join you based on who you are, like in your decision making, how the characters in your party feel about you, whether you can convince them to go different places. So in Norzelia, three major guiding convictions prevail: utility, morality, and liberty. These take the form of invisible parameters that are influenced by the choices that you make throughout the game. Wow, I just said all that extemporaneously, and I wasn't even reading the conviction thing. Your decisions will shape Serenoa's convictions as well as influence which companions may choose to join the cause. Yes. Okay. So our three choices. Who are you exactly? A band of common brigands from the looks of it. You needn't know. Surrender now. We can resolve this peacefully. You two bear a striking resemblance. Might you be father and daughter? They got swords pointed at this lady. You know, at my guest here. So I'm not really super interested in them as people. And that seems a little more on the insulting side of things, which is fine, but I really want them to know, like, hey, if you drop your swords, like, we don't even have to fight, right? So don't worry about who I am. This is what I'm gonna go with here. Benedict will remember this. My conviction strengthened.
立場が分かってないようだな。手荒な真似をされるのはお前たちだ。
そっちこそ、おとなしく従えば命だけは助けてやるぜ。
話しても無駄か。
Okay, did some more to fix stream stuff. I hope it hasn't dropped any frames. But I made an adjustment here. Apologies. Nope.
ごちゃごちゃ言ってねえで観念しやがれ。この俺トラビスと娘のトリッシュ、大盗賊団トラビス一家に出会ったのが運の尽きよ。
Travis and Trish.
めんどくせえ邪なものをやっちまえ。
Let's get into it.
若様実践ですぞ。お二方は下がってください。
いいえ、私も戦います。
Frederica can rumble.
こうなったのは私の油断が原因です。戦わせてください。
しかし
私は魔法の教師。そして彼女はとても優秀な生徒です。
We got magics.
足手まといにはなりません。
わかりました。では援護を頼みます。
承知しました。
ずいぶん賑やかだな。俺も加えてもらおうか。
Who is this?
あなたが
あ
ここへ。話は後だ。まずは賊を蹴散らすぞ。
Perhaps the devil may care, best friend. We'll see. Benedict's aptitudes in battle. Unwavering support with a strategic edge. Aids comrades with various support abilities. Alters the turn order of his allies. Okay. Frederica's aptitudes. A pyromancer, whose fire ignites chaos on the battlefield. Cast sweeping spells to assail multiple enemies. Can use fire spells to set flammable squares ablaze. That's pretty cool. That's very like Divinity Original Sin. Gila brings balance to the battlefield with powerful healing magic. Specializes in HP recovery magic. Healing spells are even more effective on allies in mortal danger. Serenoa, not on the list. but he's just, he's just sword man, I guess. Beset by Brigands is the name of this battle. The battle begins. Oh, yes. Delicious tactics. So has the stream been okay? Grumpy or other folks watching, please let me know if it was shaky before, if it's better now. I do again apologize for any weirdness that was going on earlier. If it was, I hope not. So let's proceed here.
遠慮は無用。ウォルホート領内で悪党の好きにはさせない。
この方々は一体。
行くぞ、ベネディクト。
In battle, positioning and turn order are two keys to victory. Okay, thank you, Grumpy. I was streaming over a slower network, so I was very worried that the frame drops or that the resolution was bad. Attacks from higher ground than that of your target deal increased damage. Okay, very key, very important. So this one's positioning, yeah. Attacks from behind are guaranteed to score a crit. A mark will appear when you can perform a back attack. The order in which units take action is determined by their speed. Upcoming turn orders displayed via the AT bar at the bottom of the screen. The right stick moves the camera. Rotate the camera. Reset the camera. Zoom in out.
堂々と喧嘩を売られるとはトラビス一家も舐められたもんだ。トラビス様のお通りだ。お前らも続け。手柄を立てれば褒美は出すぞ。
I've got a reward for you. Panels and lines of attack. Moving. Blue panels within movement range, but out of enemy's range. Purple within movement range and enemy's range. Red lines indicate the enemy can attack the unit. Red panels indicate your attack range. Yellow panels indicate the area of effect. Okay. Alright, so he's gonna come attack me if he can. So and it looks like it's Trish's turn after my turn. I don't want to be too exposed. Like, if I go there and try to hit him on the side... Well, it looks like a couple people are going to come attack me anyway, but... It looks like... Is it... Well, Trish? Trish might. If I move there, I'll be attacked. I'm going to be attacked wherever I move. There's not really a free space, so I'll attack this guy from the front. It seems like I'm way more exposed. I don't know, am I though? Maybe I'll attack him from the side. No, I would feel more exposed if I attacked him from the side. Command menu. In this menu, you can choose which commands to issue to the selected unit. Split into two tabs, actions and items. Use the left stick or directional buttons to change tabs. In the actions tab, you can choose whether or not to use a normal attack, or the with a weapon with a normal attack with the unit's weapon, or a unique ability. Abilities consume TP, and units regain TP at the start of their turn. The item tab consists of a list of items shared by the entire party. Thank God there's not individual item bags. That is a thing about Fire Emblem. That can be good, but often I felt slightly annoyed by it from time to time. Often from time to time. That's, you know what I mean. There are instances where it was just bothersome. With few exceptions, a unit can only perform one action or use one item in each turn, so choose wisely. Delayed strike. Okay, only both of his are one range attacks, so I couldn't back up and attack him. Physical damage, deal physical damage to a single enemy, and delay its turn. Well, his turn is like really far at the back, so I'm not going to worry about that right now. Just going to thwack him. And we'll face this way. A bow and arrow, perhaps. Looks like she's holding one. We're just doing our jobs. Okay. It looks like oh, so I know what I did. I want the tech speed to be fast. And the battle speed, I would like the display speed to be normal. At least for right now. Okay. She was hopping around big time. Okay. So, our boy lost a little bit of HP. Perhaps we can... Oh, wait, that's right. He's not a healer. He just... Wait, so he's in range there. He's in range there. We're not in range here. Oh, but that doesn't... So Raging Beast can go a few panels in front of him, but we wouldn't be able to reach anybody. Raise an ally's strength and magic attack for 3 turns. Wait, okay. What I'd like to do is move him. But it looks like he'll be hit. But can't really get up close to anybody. Will he be hit down here? Only by 1 target. Power up. Oh, this guy, that's right. I forgot about this fellow. Alright. What do we got here attack-wise? Lance. Oh, from high up. And a double thrust. 21 power, 32 power. But that deals TP. Not that I care too much. Oh, okay, so height, yeah, I guess you have to be... Wait, why can I not deal a double thrust? But I have to be... Can I deal it from right in front of him? Okay, I can. How much HP does this guy have? Oh, he goes next as well, so... I want to, like... I just want to... give him the business. Oh, but it's not going to kill him. I'll take off half his life. Let's give it to him. Oh, God, I'm forgetting. Let's give him a crit. I don't care if it exposes this guy, honestly. Oh, that's going to really hurt. It won't kill him, though. So I don't want to expose him to too much damage. Let's just poke him from up here. That's the most conservative thing we can do. Utilize the high ground. Sure. Uh-oh. No. 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 Don't bounce me back and forth. Oh, he's running. Coward. Cure wounds, please. See if that doesn't quite reach our boy. Yeah, but I don't want to... Oh. Exposing her is not what I'm what I had in mind here. Don't want her to get too hurt. But she can do it from there. Oh, it's just not quite in range. Okay. Gave her that XP. Okay, follow-up attacks. When an enemy is struck with a physical attack, any allies on the opposite side of that enemy will automatically perform a follow-up. A mark will appear if attacking the selected target will trigger a follow-up attack. Ooh, Scorch is not bad. Tome of Fire. Range is 4. Okay, that's quite far, so let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. I wonder if she can do it from there. Yeah. Ooh, it's like a... Will this not trigger a follow-up, I guess? I don't want to accidentally hit our guy. Maybe I have to do the Tome of Fire. I want to see if I can... Okay, it will do the follow-up. Beautiful. We're gonna kill this guy. Oh, almost kill him. Okay. Not a lot of damage that they can do. Alright, let's get the guy with the big club. Take care of him. Oh, overkill. I want to protect her back because it's going to be a bit before she gets to move. So this little song sounds like the bridge of All-Star, by the way. I just want to point that out. Or no, it's not All-Star. No, it's this new Radical song, actually, that reminds me of All-Star. Never mind. The joke was bad and dumb. Alright, let's see if I can take this guy out. No. Will we do more damage from the side? Unclear. Oh, this fool is coming up in here gonna bother us. So I want to take this guy out this way. And keep my back against the wall. Not get critted. How dare. How dare. Alright. Let's get you into this now. Cane sword. I'll take some decent health off this guy. Oh, a crit. And I hit you with a book in the face. Damn it, we need to heal her. Okay.
これで傷を。ありがとうございます。
Okay, no one can attack her here. So that's what I'd like to do. Is move her back. All right. Who is... Let's see. No. Okay, I'm getting the controls right. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I can move her even farther back. Oh, but it's going to hit him. Oh, well, is there friendly fire? Well, this is going to be a test. We'll test if there's going to be friendly fire. So we can hit these two guys. Oh, there's not friendly fire. That's beautiful. That is beautiful. Spoils. Fallen enemies occasionally drop spoils. End an ally's turn on the square containing the spoils to claim it. Enemies can also claim spoils, so beware. On rare occasions, enemies will drop small boxes containing exquisite spoils. Allies do not need to pick up these items. They are automatically acquired. Spoils cannot be used the moment they are acquired. You must emerge victorious. Unclaimed spoils will be lost. Oh, no, Benedict. No! How dare you? Okay, I have probably fallen into the trap here of being lured away by this guy. And this, now I'm kind of taken out of things. The blonde-haired, blue-eyed man, the Spear Knight. Sort of, I want to get him back in the fray. And maybe use him to draw some attention. We'll keep him here. I know he could get critted. Well, we'll keep him here. So that he won't have the high ground advantage from a crit. Because I want to bring him into the main skirmish. Alright. Alright. Oh, you're so almost dead. If only I could get a counter hit. So lots of people are going to get turns, including Trish before Frederica. Which is unfortunate. This guy's not going to... he'll move after, so I care about him way less. Frederica can take him out. Alright, you seem pretty... Okay, I can't move here, I guess, because all three of these dopes are here. Oh, but I'd leave my back exposed if I move here. I want to do as little as possible to leave Serenoa's back exposed, so we'll just take this guy out. Whatever, man. So rude. All right. I will move Benedict here, and we will take out this guy. We'll start to take him out anyway. All right, who needs healing the most? So 41, Frederica. Cure wounds. She has the lowest defense, it would seem, as well. Alright, ikemas. No. Let's move here. And let's hit all these fools with the fire. Oh man. He really is just sort of marginalized up there, but I guess can't really do... Hell, that hurt. Can't really do anything about this right now. Will a regular lance shot kill him? It'll kill that guy. So, take this guy out. You fool. You absolute fool. Whatever. Listen. Put him against the wall. Alright. Travis and Trish. Trish is proving problematic with her bow and arrow, so we'll delay her turn as well. How about you do some dodging, horse? Just beat up on Trish. Leveled up. Alright. We need to... Let's finish off Trish. Oh wait, the movement. I see. Because I did the attack. Alright, let's get this spoil. Spoils acquired. Okay. Let's help. Frederica. Don't want to give up our back. All right. Okay. It's the best thing we can do here. Is I think remain down here because I don't want to give up our back. Oh, I only have one TP point left. So... Oh, and I can't climb up behind his back. That's frustrating. I mean, this is the best I can do at the moment. Hit him with the Tome of Fire. Oh, I got to level up out of it. All right. We'll bring you down here. Out of range. That's okay. Alright. Let's get you involved again in the main skirmish. Oh wait, why can't I do my double thrust? It says I have all my TP. I don't get it. Well. We shall crit you. Woo! How dare. You with the limited movement range. Alright, Trisha's turn is not for a while, so we'll just longsword him. But she's gonna bite it there. We won't rue this day. I promise. Exquisite spoil secured. A little critical action via Mr. Benedict. Alright, Frederica. Let's heal the spearman. Can we do it from here? No. Can do it from here. Oh, poor Frederica can't climb up. Really isolated her. That's unfortunate. Still learning the intricacies. Pish. Pish posh, my friend. Alright, let's get a good camera shot. Okay, we could do the double thrust. I'll kill this guy. Yeah, get on up here. Come on. How dare you? This has more power, and I'm not worried about delaying his turn because we get several turns before him, so I'm not too worried. Oh, you and your silly bounce attack. I got a little something for that. Oh, you didn't know nothing about that, friends. Alright. Sarah Noah probably needs the healing. There. If only you could climb up. Oh, this is just frustrating, man. She's been iced out. Alright, let's put the hurt on Travis. Bap. Bap.
どこから攻めるか。
It's gonna end it. No.
この力を平和のために。
Could have swore that would level you. That would do the trick.
最善の手を。
All right, surrounding you. This is gonna be nice. Oh wait, can we get a triple attack like that? Hey, it doesn't appear so.
終わらせましょう。
This is gonna finish you though.
私の魔法で。
な。嘘だろ。
Oh, it can be. Very much can be, Trav. Exquisite spoils acquired. Victory! $17 kudos. 900 coins. I got some healing items and 2 materials of iron. Excellent. Correct.
何？オルホート家の後継ぎか？
この方が。
That's right. Heir to the throne, son. Well, I don't know about that. Well, I don't know his exact position. We like to be punctual.
相手が悪い。小悪党にしては悪くない引き際だ。
我が領地を荒らす無法者です。この場で捕らえたかったが。
お前の妻となる人が無事だった。それでいいじゃないか。
What do you say?
賊に狙われていたことに気づかず、ご迷惑をおかけしました。
Didn't know my phone ringer was on. Sorry about that.
こたびの命約に従い、エスフロスト公国より参りました。フレデリカです。
Of the Grand Duchy of Acefrost.
本日よりあなたの妻としてボルホート家に入らせていただきます。
あなたがフレデリカ様だったのですね。失礼いたしました。
挨拶もせずに一緒に戦ったのか。
The mark of a good marriage, that.
初めての共同作業が盗賊退治とは頼もしい夫婦になりそうだ。ロラン様！
こんなところにいたんですね。探しました。ロラン様、また城を抜け出してきたのですね。
親友の伴侶が起こしと聞いて、いても立ってもいられなくてな。
お気持ちはありがたいですが、レグナ王に何とお伝えすればよいか。
What a nag.
父上は俺の心配なんてしないさ。けど親衛隊のヒューエットには小言を言われそうだ。そろそろオートに帰るとしよう。麗しき薄紅色髪の姫よ。彼がいれば安心です。婚礼の式典を楽しみにしていますよ。では。
Key item. Oh, the ring with the scales on them.
指輪にグリンブルク王家の紋章が入っていた。あの方はもしや。
そう、グリンブルク国王レグナ様の第二王子ロランス。
領主の若様と王子が盗賊相手に立ち回るなんて面白い国ね、フレデリカ。
彼女はジーラ。私の良き教師で次女です。
And very capable healer.
音に聞くウォルフォートの立ちさばき、直に拝見できて光栄でしたわ。
フレデリカ様、改めてご挨拶いたします。私が
Whoops.
この者は我が家の執事ベネディクト。
セレノア様の補佐役を務めております。お見知りおきを。
ようこそウォルホート家へ。家を代表し心よりあなた方を歓迎します。
セレノア様、私の髪の色驚かれたのではありませんか？
So interesting, this came up earlier, and the thieves were remarking on it. Trish, it's like, she has pink hair, like, and that doubted the, you know, Frederica's identity as royalty here. Big decision. Okay, our choice is here. If it's not too forward of me to say so, I find it most beautiful. I find your courage more noteworthy than your appearance. You held your own out there on the battlefield. I think it nothing to be surprised about. We have Roselle living in our very domain. Oh, this is fine-grained distinctions here. This is not this is not one of those choices where you're like, I don't know. This is not like a Mass Effect choice or a KOTOR choice. Like, I love you. Allow me to compliment you greatly, or you're terrible and I hate you. Goodness me. I mean, they all seem good and valid. I think Serenoa might say all of them. Certainly the bottom two. Oh boy. So would this make her too self-conscious to compliment her? But would this just be too, like, I don't care at all about it? Like, I mean, this, I appreciate the sentiment here. Like, if the Roselle are sort of discriminated against, and the pink hair is a mark of that. But I think I'm going to rule out 3, and it's between 1 and 2 here. I think I'm going to go with 1. Gotta do it. If it is not too forward of me to say so, I find it most beautiful. I think I'm going complimenting my future wife here. No! No! Oh, I should have gone with the second one. There we go. The solid follow-up, Serenoa. There you go, my man. Aww. Yay.
これよりウォルフォート城へご案内いたします。皆が待っていますよ、フレデリカ様。
はい、よろしくお願いいたします。
Excellent. Frederica and Gila, absolutely necessary parts of our squad, I think. Not sure if there's anything you could have done to alienate them there, though.
セレノアとフレデリカ、二人の婚姻は潮を持たざるグリンブルクとエスフロスト、
両国の同盟強化を狙った政略結婚であった。これは大戦終結後もなお続く聖ハイサンド大峡谷による塩の独占に対するささやかな牽制に過ぎないはずだった。
They have us over a barrel when it comes to commodities. Hyzant's salt monopoly.
だがこの婚姻がノゼリア全土を巻き込む大乱の幕開けであることを。
Well, I probably could have known that. Based on this is a tactics game we're buying in the mold of FFT and Let Us Cling Together. Encampment. Provisioner. You can select encampment from the main menu to access the Wolford Army's camp. Additional features will be unlocked as the story progresses. Ooh, we have an optional little doodly-doo at Whiteholm, which I think we'll probably do. Let's see what encampment is about. Ooh, you can, okay, walk around and... Ah, if it isn't Lord Serenoa, how do you do? This humble merchant has brought the finest selection of goods from across the realm. Please have a look. At the Provisioner, you can purchase items and accessories and sell unwanted items in your possession. You cannot reap the benefits of accessories simply by purchasing them. Remember to equip them on the ally of your choosing. Go to the detail screen in the inventory menu. Okay. We have 900 funds. We can get some materials. I guess we don't have enough for any accessories. We have 6 HP recovery pellets. Let's get some status recoveries. And I think that's going to do us now. We'll save money to possibly get some of these accessories. Not sure what we can do yet with raw materials, but please come again. Is there anything else we can do in encampment? Okay, does not appear. So we shall leave the encampment for now. It's very similar. Very similar name. No shame in that. I think we're going to do this optional quest. Just a moment. I have to step away very briefly. BRB. Okay. So we're gonna go to the crown city of Glenbrook. And do this side story. At Whiteholm Castle, home of Glenbrook's royal family, preparations begin for a grand ceremony to commemorate a new age of harmony between three nations. Whitehorn Bridge.
パトリアとローランはどこへ行った？共に来賓を迎えるよう言いつけたはずだが。
Yes, the devil may care little brother, best friend of Serena. Yes. Archetype spotted. But that's okay.
それが親衛隊を振り切ってどこかに出かけてしまったそうです。ロラン王子のわがままには我々も手を焼かされている次第でして。
まったくいつまでも子供のように。
A little harsh. But we don't know all the details, I guess.
私一人で応対する。
You can handle it, Franny. Don't listen to Patriot. He looks like an evil schemer if I had to peg him. Not Claris, Patriot. Love the way the castle looks. Oh, and the cool coats of arms. But they're these scales, which I guess it makes sense, right? Because they were on the ring of Roland.
かしこまりました。あちらの女性がアブローラ将軍です。
General Avlora of Ace Frost, okay? Another Ace Frostian. Ace Frosty?
腐敗の鉄拳の力と知略を受け継いだ最強の武人との呼び名も高い。今回の武闘大会では創世マクスウェル様と並んで優勝候補と目されています。
The Dawn Spear. It's a nice little legendary figure there to hear about.
聖ハイサンド大教国からは七聖人の一角、マーシャル家のエグスアム殿がお見えです。
Okay, the Salt Monopoly Man.
エグスアム殿は最近七聖人に加わった新顔です。
The Saintly Seven.
軍の指揮を任され、飛ぶ鳥を落とす勢いとか。
希代の将軍と大教国の新生か。覚えて。この者は知っている。同じく七聖人の
Sorsley End. Another his aunt person.
潮の管理を司るハイサンドの重鎮です。しかし、近頃はエグスアム殿に恐れ気味のようで。
I just want to say the Minister of Salt is should be an official title in like fighting game communities.
教皇のもと、一枚岩に見えるハイサンドにもいろいろ圧力があるわけか。
It would seem not. It would seem not.
助かったぞクラリス。さすがは三国の流通を牛耳るノゼリア商会。
武闘大会の賭けの胴元を任せていただいた以上、出場者の情報は把握しておきませんと。
Oh, a tournament.
王子、エスフロスト現総帥の妹子と弟子、エリカ殿とタラース殿がいらっしゃいました。
S. Frosty, I'm assuming by the pink garb. Lord Thalas and Lady Erica.
グスタドルフ総帥の代理として三国共同採掘の記念式典に参加されます。
タラース殿は最小に任じられたそうで、今やエスフロスト第2位の要人です。
グスタドルフ総帥は自由を重んじると聞いたが、結局身内をひいきするようだな。
王子、かの国の軍備は侮れませんぞ。くれぐれも失礼のないようお願いいたします。
Come on, Franny.
分かっている。エスフロストの本家筋とことを構えても益はないから。
Don't insult them. Leave that to the Minister of Salt. Hey.
Yo koso, Greenbrook. Greenbrook 第一王子、フラニである。明日の式典をどうか楽しんでもらいたい。記念すべき我らの取り組みを共に祝いましょう。
So Esfrost, Hazant, and Glenbrook are the three nations that are tying the knot here, so to speak. Hey, Yukinon. Yeah, no, it's fully voice acted. I switched over to the Japanese because I don't know, the English was a little stiff. Not bad. You know, I might check in on it again later, the dub, to see if at other points in the game, I don't know, it's the acting and dynamism have improved a bit, but for now we're going to stick with the Japanese acting.
もっとも舞踏大会に出場なさる方々はそちらの方が重要かもしれませんが、まずは式典と大会の舞台となるホワイトホルム城をご案内しましょう。
It's a beautiful little garden. Again with the water effects. It's so nice.
ああ、ヒューエット。今戻った。
聞きましたよ。またウォルホート領に行かれていたそうですね。
ちょっとやぶ用でな。お前を巻いて悪かった。
なぜ私をお連れくださらないのですか。王家の親衛隊を何だと思いです。
Listen, don't make Huet's job harder than it has to be, Roland.
それに、俺は第二王子だ。たとえ何かあっても父上も兄も誰も困らない。
Don't be hard on yourself. Come on. That's not true.
俺よりしっかり者だしな。
私は大いに困ります。私の主はあなただけなのですから。
I mean, his brother actually, Franny, did seem to really just have no time for him at all. So maybe, yeah, I mean, maybe he's right. But Huet doesn't want anything to happen to you. Okay, she cares.
ヒューエット。
You are her one and only liege.
すまなかった。勝手に抜け出すのは慎もう。
そうしていただきます。そういえば明日の舞踏大会にもウォルホート家と共に参加しようと企まれているそうですね。
お前どうしてそれを。
レグナ王から伺いました。くれぐれも問題を起こさぬよう。
Big tournament.
全部お見通しか。
私も一緒に参加いたします。もう王子から離れませんからね。
わかった。好きにしろ。
Okay, we got a little cutscene there. And it would appear that that is all the optional scenes we can view right now. So we'll proceed with Castle Wolfort. Having routed the bandit, Serenoa and his retinue make their way back to Castle Wolfort. We're still in Chapter 1. We've had one battle and one optional cutscene.
お帰りなさいませ。
不在中何か問題は？
特にはありません。エラドール殿が騒いだ以外は。
ベネディクト、賊が出たと聞いたぞ。若に怪我はないだろうな。
Oh no.
ああ、うるさい。声が大きいんだお前は。そもそも
He just wants to pound some heads.
エラドール、何も心配はない。いつまでも子供扱いでは困る。
はい。とはいえ、私は若が小さくて可愛い自分からずっとおそばに。おお、こちらが若の。
Indeed. Say hi to the future wife.
はじめまして。
次女として参りましたジーラです。
お二人にウォルホート家に仕える者たちを紹介しましょう。まず我が家の兵を束ねる兵長のエラドール。
Okay, definitely makes sense as a job for this guy. Master at arms.
若の奥方様はウォルホート家の宝です。一命をとしてお守りいたしますぞ。
そして私の片腕として働くアンナです。
I mean, he's an archetype, but I can't help but smiling. You know, the acting really brings it home.
ご用があれば何なりと。
Erador, I should say.
皆、共に生きる家族だ。遠慮なく頼ってほしい。
グリーンブルクの御三家筆頭であるウォルホート家。その名を恥ずかしめないよう努めます。
ああ、小さかった若が良き伴侶を得られた。感無量だ。
本当に声が大きいですね。
おっと失礼。どうか慣れてください。
Bluster is just my way.
若様、奥でご当主様がお待ちです。私は明日の式典についてエラドールたちと打ち合わせをいたします。
フレデリカ様、当主である父、シモンが待っています。奥へ参り。
Whoops. Okay, more people in the party. The quiet one and the loud one. Anna's aptitudes. Strike enemies from the shadows. Takes 2 actions in the same turn. Can conceal herself from enemy eyes. Maybe like a thief or rogue type class. And I really, like, I've seen her character art, her portrait. Like, I love it. It's fantastic. Okay, great. And then Erador shields allies with superb defensive capabilities. Mr. Tank draws enemy attacks. Counterattacks when dealt a physical blow by adjacent enemy. Excellent. Very, very useful. Definitely see how you can work them into the team.
さて、我々は若様たちのご婚礼の前に2つの重大な式典をこなさねばならない。
一つは王都のホワイトホルム城で行われる三国共同採掘の記念式典ですね。
3つの国が協力して グリンブルク国内で新しい鉄鉱山を掘っているんだよな。
そう、ノゼリア新鉱山。煙鉄大戦の禍根を断つべくレグナ王が提唱された取り組みだ。
King Regna's proposal that the three nations of Norzelia now strive towards a common goal. Okay.
まさに今、記念式典参加のため、採掘に関わる各国の代表者が。
So this alliance, I'm sure, is tenuous, and war will break out. But how will it happen? So the Glenbrook coat of arms was the scales, and ours, you know, unless this on the wall here is just decorative of this keep. But why would it just be decorative of this keep if it was not the Wolfort coat of arms? I feel like it's this hawk, this encircled hawk, which is a very cool design. And that's, of course, what pops up when you have the loading screen. Lord Dragan.
聖ハイサンド大教国からは国を動かす七星人の一角ビザークラフト家
Another of these saintly seven from Hazante.
お二人は式典の前にグリーンブルク側の代表者であるシモン様と会談される予定と伺っております。
そうだ。会談後お二人はウォルホート家がもてなすこととなる。アンナにはドラガン殿とライラ殿の警護を頼み
たい。かしこまりました。
もう一つは記念式典の後に
Anna, you handle the diplomacy summit.
大大会だな。
The tourney.
も各国から強者たちが来訪しているはずだ。
エスフロストからはアブローラ将軍が、ハイサンドからはマーシャル家エグスアム様が出場予定です。
グリンブルク王国からの参加は前回の優勝者として創世マクスウェル殿ともう一枠はもちろん我らオルホート家今回こそ優勝はいただくぞ。
So the Dawn Spear is not a legendary. Well, I mean, I thought it was like a historic. The way they referenced Maxwell, the Dawn Spear, felt like, okay, a hero of the past, but oh, he's around and is you know, a Glenbrook dude.
まずロラン王子がウォルホート家の一員として参戦を希望されている。
ロラン王子が師匠のマクスウェル殿ではなく、なぜ我らと
Why indeed?
ご自分の力を試すためマクスウェル軍として出場を願ったがレグナ王と揉めたようだ。
Because his family hates him.
それで親友である若を頼ったというわけか。構わんのではないか。我が軍は王家から編成の自由を認められている。他国の代表を見事に打ち負かせばレグナ王も喜んでくださるだろ
う。そうだな。では王子の参戦を受け入れよう。
残る問題はシモン様のご体調ですね。
そうだ。ご当主はもう舞踏大会に出られるようなお体ではない。おそらく若様が代表として出場することになるだろう。
Because he spelled his name with a Y instead of an I, like a civilized person. Name Simon would do. Oh yeah, Saranoa is in this thing.
わかった。若もロラン王子も我々がお守りする。
頼むぞ。 どちらも平和の式典ではあるが、誰もが思惑を持って集っている。くれぐれもつけ込まれる隙を見せぬようにな。
Weird, I just noticed that Yukinon's name is not showing up on the chat box on the stream. That's really strange. Alright, just checking to see if there's any optional stuff. Alright, let's look at all our people. Ah, Gina didn't level up. Or Gila, rather. Alright, so we got Frederica the Pyromancer. We've seen her attack. She's lower speed than Sarah Noah here. But still good. Magic attack higher, of course, than strength. Physical defense very low. Benedict here can absorb some punishment with a 7 physical defense and a 5 magic defense. So while we have 0 resistances for our 2 Volfort people, well, I guess she will be now a member of House Volfort very soon, but Frederica has some fire resistance, but is somewhat vulnerable to ice, so the negative 30% there. That's something we should remember. Anna, again, I love this character portrait. I think it's just awesome. Like, I'm a sucker for a tough girl, and Anna here looks like no nonsense tough girl. She's got a dagger, an act twice ability. Whoops. Okay, it's a passive skill that grants 2 turns. Really good speed, as you'd expect from a thief class. High evasion and accuracy. Low magic attack. Pretty decent on the physical side of things, and not great on the magic side of things. So here's Erador. High strength, high defense, low speed. And magic defense, not great. Magic attack, a pittance. We got a provoke, right? So draw aggro. And sprint, raise your movement by 1 for 3 turns. That seems pretty nice to do at the start of battle. And then Gila. Her portrait looks more jovial than her voice led me to believe she would be. And we have her curative spell. And other spells, I suppose, will be unlocked. We don't even have access to them in our menu. But high magic attack and defense. So speed. Not great stats apart from the magic attack stat. At a 6 already. So, okay. You are invisible, Yukinon. That's just so weird. I don't know why. I'll have to fiddle with the CSS, I guess. I have no idea why that is happening. You don't need to go to the encampment again. Lord Simon, head of House Belfort, welcomes Frederica into his home, both as his future daughter-in-law and symbol of Glenbrook and Acefrost's unity. Papa. Tosan. Chichue. Daddy. It's my wife.
お初にお目にかかります。フレデリカ・エスフロストです。
おお、あなたがフレデリカ殿か。よくおいでくだされた。
I mean, I guess it could be. I don't remember messing with. I don't think I messed with the colors at all. But I will look into it. It's Cap Chat. is the name of the widget that I'm using for the chat.
煙鉄大戦終結の立役者であるシモン様が率い
Maybe I should just see if Streamlabs has anything native like that. The Saltreon War. Guessing that this was over Salt, and we know Hizant controls Salt Monopoly, but there's peace about it now among the three nations. So that is apparently, I'm guessing Saltreon refers to war over this commodity. I haven't really been told about it, but
そのような名家に迎えていただくとは身に余る光栄でございます。
堅苦しい挨拶はいい。
I'm saying, you rock. You fop on my son's side, you're welcome. In here anytime.
ゆっくり休んでください。
お気遣いありがとうございます。ですが何事も最初が肝心と申します。
It looks like that showed up, Yuki. Oh yeah, maybe Saltreon. Maybe it is Salt and Iron, perhaps. Grumpy. That's a good point. Again, we haven't heard about it straight up. But this is just an assumption based on the information that we have to this point.
どうかローゼル族の血を引く私を迎え入れた真意をお教えください。
なかなか気丈な方だ。
Forward, yeah.
ご無礼をお許しください。でも他国の武家に嫁ぐからには何を望まれ何をなすべきかを知っておきたいのです。
もっともだ。セレノアもよく聞きなさい。
はい。
お前たちの婚姻は国同士が決めた政略結婚だ。狙いは
Sure, that's how these things work.
フロストの関係強化。
塩を独占するハイサンドを牽制するためですね。
この牽制によってハイサンドは共同採掘に積極的に参加せざるを得なくなった。
And by the way, I mentioned earlier, the hawk is on the coat of arms. So it's sort of an inverse of the colors of the castle Whiteholm, which was the black scales against the yellow background. Here we have the yellow encircled hawk against a dark background. Maybe yellow is not quite right. Maybe gold.
だがフレデリカ殿は公国の姫ではあるが、エスフロスト家とローゼル族両方の血を引く側室の娘。そして我がウォルフォート家もグリンブルク王家の一臣下に過ぎん。単に絆を強める目的ならば、
グリンブルクの王子と私の妹、先代正室の子であるエリカを縁づける方が適切だと思います。
しかし両国ともそれは選ばなかった。
I would assume
わかるか
to keep their options open.
それは将来状況が変わった時。
Yep. Neither would feel like they were really, losing more than they could afford to lose if they went to war.
切り捨てることができるようにですね。
そう、それが両国の思惑。国を滑る者たちの駆け引きだ。
事情は分かりました。
But look, Dad, that's not how we feel about her. We care, okay?
国や他人の
There you go.
どうあろうと、私はウォルホートの名に恥じぬよう振る舞います。
よく言った。お前がそう決めたのなら。
シュエ。
シモン様。
This is a bad time for this to happen.
大事ない。いつもの発作だ。だが、いい機会だ。セレノは、私は今日限りで当主の座を降りる。
Oh boy.
明日からは、お前がウォルホート家を率いるのだ。
明日から。急に言われてもどうすれば。
今お前が言った通りでいい。ウォルホート家はウォルホート家として立つ。支えてくれる領民と家臣たちのためにどうするべきか考え決断し前に進め。
Yeah, we've already made 2 of those weighted choices, Yuki. I don't know if you're familiar with this mechanic, but in this game, you have these important choices that you're given 3 options, and then like the choices that you make influence sort of where you go in the branching story and also character recruitment. You know, who, you know, you could sort of alienate potential story characters from coming to your army, or you could make it possible to recruit ones that would not otherwise join you. You know, if your stats are high. The unseen kind of stats are, what are they? Morality, liberty, and utility. And the decisions that you make sort of shift unseen values in those areas for Serenoa. And yeah, it affects what characters think of you. I think there are certain things that characters in your army, like, you have to have consensus to do things, and you may have some folks in your encampment that are like, yo, we don't need to do this, and someone else will be like, no, we do, and then you have to sort of bring them all into one kind of single alignment with your decision making and your argumentation. So yeah, it's a mechanic I really look forward to seeing how we use here. Trust in Benedict. I don't know.
わかりました。必ず父上のような立派な当主になってみせます。
フレデリカ殿、この絵にしは単純ではない。さまざまな思惑が二人を翻弄するはずだ。それでもどうか一人の人間として息子を支えてやってほしい。
Love that.
これがウォルホート家の、そして父親としての真意です。
はい、その覚悟で参りました。
ドラガン様とライラ様がご到着されました。
よし、今宵の晩餐会が私の最後の仕事だ。明日の三国共同採掘式典と舞踏大会がお前たちのお披露目の席になる。それが済んだら次は結婚式だ。忙しくなるぞ。
Young Hawk source completed. I guess that's chapter 1 done. Save your game.
ノゼリア全土を巻き込んだ煙鉄大戦から34年、グリンブルク王国領に新たな鉄鉱脈が発見され、人々は喜びに沸い
た。Okay, so Glenbrook found resources, and so that seems to have lessened the necessity to fight his aunt for them.
グリンブルク王国、エスフロスト公国、聖ハイサンド大教国は協議の末、新鉱山を共有の資産とするべく共同採掘を決定する。かつて相争った三国が手を取り合い、資金や技術を提供し合う試み。それはノゼリアの人々に平穏な時代の到来を期待させた。採掘の成功を記念する式典を控え、各国の要人が次々とグリンブルク王国を来訪。まさに和平のための宴が開かれようとしている。そんな中、グリンブルクの御三家筆頭であるウォルホート家においては、煙鉄大戦の英雄シモンの嫡子セレノアが新たな当主となることが決まったのである。
Chapter 2, To Arms Brave Warriors.
Warui城へようこそ、ライラ殿。共同採掘に対する聖ハイサンド大教国の多額のご援助、改めて感謝いたします。
調整役がシモン殿なればこそです。しかしご子息とフレデリカ殿のご成婚には驚きました。まさかグリンブルクの筆頭家がグスタドルフ総帥の妹君を迎え入れるとは。総帥とはお母上が異なるそうですが、いきさつを伺ってもよろしいか。
ええ、もちろん。大戦時に先代総帥と結んだ盟約なのです。情勢に明るいあなたが知らないとは意外でした。
Oh, I think you knew. I think you just wanted to like insult under guise of curiosity, polite curiosity. Want to give a little backslap to us, but look, we got our own little backslap here. I'm surprised this one is smart and sourced and well informed as you did not already know. Because you did already know.
そちらがご子息ですね。確か。
Here we go. Just get back. As I recall, he did something stupid or whatever.
セレノア・ウォルホートです。
Oh no, she was just trying to remember his name.
フレデリカと申します。
まだまだ至らない息子ですが、良い機会だと思いましてな。
I really, really like this music that's happening in the scene right now. This is great.
私は本日限りで当主の座を降り、セレノアに譲るつもりです。
ご引退されるのですか。協力して共同採掘を進めてきた同志としては寂しいですが、めでたきことですね。新当主のセレノア殿がどんな人物か、晩餐会でじっくりと調べることにしましょう。
ライラ殿の本領発揮ですな。お手柔らかに。
I'm green.
今宵はエスフロストのドラガン殿もいらっしゃるとか。
ええ、ノゼリア新鉱山の技術責任者ですから、 広告の若き騎士と呼ばれる優秀な方だ。
彼は新鉱山の坑道を掘るために特殊な爆発物を使うと聞きました。立場は違えど同じく研究に携わる者として話を聞くのが楽しみです。
すでに到着されているはずですが、姿
ドラガン
Where's Dragon?
町に出て行きました。ウォルフォートの城下に興味があると言って。
ドラガン殿とあなたはいとこ同士でしたな。早速情報収集とは気が合いそうだ。
間もなく晩餐会が始まります。私が探してお連れしましょう。
そうしてくれ。今宵の晩餐会は私が主催するが、お前は当主のつもりで臨め。招待客は皆各国の要人だ。くれぐれも失礼のないように。
承知しました。
Lord Dragon could be anywhere. I suppose this is as good an opportunity as any to speak with the common folk. Exploration. The flow of the game comprises multiple phases. In addition to story scenes and battles, there will be an exploration phase. Exploration objectives. In this phase, you may move freely about areas to gather information from the people around you, obtain items, review mechanisms, and terrain features that may serve you in battle, and more. Left stick run walk, directional buttons run, hold B or R to dash. To end the exploration and continue with the story, press the plus button. Benedict, I sense you may have some questions regarding this joint mining venture. Allow me to enlighten you. Combining the expertise and manpower of Norzelia's 3 nations, this mine will unearth the newly discovered vein of iron. We hope this will prove beneficial for all parties, providing wealth and prosperity in equal measure. It is said Lord Dragon's knowledge of ironworking is peerless. I can think of none more suited to oversee the mine's development. I've been tasked with it. This is a soldier. I've been tasked with attending you at the ceremony tomorrow, my lord. May it be a joyous occasion for all. I'm eager to hear your speech and even more eager to see you triumph at the tourney. Hey man, glad you're in my corner, bud. To see the peace we enjoy now, says the townsperson, one would never think that but 30 years ago our realm was engulfed in war. The Salt Iron War seems naught but a far-off nightmare now. Hello, Anna. By your request, Benedict and I shall take part in the tourney. May we bring victory to House Beaufort. Frederica, it is just like him to gallivant off with nary a word of farewell. Still, I suppose this is a chance to become acquainted with my future home. How would you describe your town, Serenoa? Oh, the 3 choices! So, to know a town, you must take the time to relish her company. That's what Eridor told me, perhaps more colorful words. It is the port at the center of commerce, a town built on taxes but not at the expense of fair trade. Beaufort is nestled safely behind the castle walls. It is a town at peace and sets an example for the rest of the kingdom. Okay, I mean, these all seem, I suppose, accurate, but... So, this bottom choice seems to be a utility choice, right? And the top one seems to be a morality choice. And I guess this is the liberty choice with the fair trade. So how would I describe our town? So, what should I say here? What should I say? how about... She asked, how would I describe our town? This sort of seems like, how would I describe our town? Why don't you get to know her a little bit? And a town of peace and sets an example for the rest of the kingdom. A port at the center of commerce. A town built on taxes but not at the expense of fair trade. That sort of sounds like the lordly answer, you know, and that's like... This seems to encompass... the sort of larger scope of things she might be asking about, but yeah, I mean, this seems like I don't know, more information here in the middle choice. I'm vacillating between these two. But I think I'm gonna go with the middle choice. But no, this one, I mean, might be like, you're asking about our town, enjoy the townsfolk. Jeez. Man. I should not worry about making the wrong decision here. This is just a first playthrough. It's okay. Let's go with the first choice. I haven't known Eridor for long, but those words are undeniably his. Perhaps I'll have to take a page out of his book, as I've done regrettably little relishing since I arrived. You needn't push yourself, Frederica. Time is something we do not lack. Once matters have settled, I will give you a tour of Beaufort myself. Thank you, Serenoa. I very much look forward to that. You have given me much to consider. Can I still talk to her? I believe I should enjoy it here. It says, I believe I shall enjoy it here. I look forward to the day I can truly call it home. Gila? There is no rest for a young lordling. All eyes will be upon you in the coming days. Frederica and I shall make every effort to learn the lay of the land so that we might share the weight of your duties. Townsperson, my husband works from dawn till dusk at the port, lifting crates and who knows what else. It's honest work, though the backbone of our livelihoods besides. It's honest work, though, and the backbone of our livelihoods besides. Decision coming up here. Child, we're playing hide and seek till Da comes home. I need to find a place to hide, and quick. Take care not to hurt yourself. Your father wouldn't want anything bad to happen to you. Ah, one of my favorite games. Barrels were always my favorite places to hide. It takes a clever mind to hide. Perhaps you can use your cleverness to help your father when you're older. Hate that one. Hate this first one. Easily going with the middle. Barrels. I would have never thought of that, my lord. Hee, they'll never find me now. I speak from experience. They won't. However, there may be even better hiding places to be found around town. You're right, my lord. I'll find a hiding place no one's ever thought of before. There's nothing to miss, my lord. Another quiet day. I am gonna go down there. I just want to see if I can... Oh, I can go at these houses. Can I loot? As you would do in any jrpg? Oh, yes, I can. I'll take your 300 gold. Thank you, loyal subjects. HP recovery pellet. Nice. Added Marvels of Norzelia Volume 12 to notes. You will find notes as the game progresses. These notes have no direct effect on the story, but they will help you better understand Norzelia and its history. View the notes that you have collected. War Chronicle notes from the menu. Okay. Volume 12, Marvels of Norzelia. There is no sight in the realm as impressive as the Byzantine capital. After braving the vast desert, the first thing a visitor to this great city sees is a wall so huge it does not look like it could have been made by human hands. The goddess's shield. Pass through the gate and you will emerge into a thriving metropolis of believers. Just beyond the streets lies the huge calm waters of the Source. I think it should be lie, since waters, anyway. Unbelievable as it may seem, the city and the wall encircle the entirety of the Great Lake where all of Norzelia salt originates. In the center of the lake towers a mountain-like statue of the goddess, an enduring symbol of the holy state's faith. Indeed, after beholding how Hyzant could not only survive in the middle of an inhospitable desert, but thrive, even an unbeliever such as myself started to think that statue might actually be the goddess incarnate. In the palace in the city center lives the Hierophant, who, they say, hears the voice of the goddess of salt herself. I imagine such a voice will be just as majestic and calm as the city she watches over. Very interesting. The goddess of salt herself. That... It does feel weird. Grumpy to loot my own people, but I'm gonna do it anyway. We need all the resources we can get. Super interesting, I think, here that, like, you know, the material, the resource salt in this world has become so important, or has been so important for so long, that it has like a patron goddess. That's cool. Always enjoy a little world building. Greetings, my lord. My friends and I are playing hide and seek. You're gonna get found, buddy. Oh, that was a meaningful conversation. Kitty, I won't disturb you, though. Speaking of disturbing kitties, I just have to let my dog out. One moment. Okay, now that Abby has gone out, we can proceed. Have I been in here? I think I've been in here. Yeah. It's Dragon. This town is prosperous, and its people have faith in their lord. An impressive achievement by my experience. You're too kind, Lord Dragon. Ah, my apologies, but you are? The apology should be mine. I'm Serenoa Volfort. I've come to remind you to return to the castle before the banquet begins. Certain parties were quite insistent. Of course, I appreciate the consideration. I would like to explore the town a while longer, but rest assured I shall be punctual in my arrival. A merchant. I must make ready for the wedding ceremony. What gift would best suit the union of you and Lady Frederica? It is an impossible choice. Perhaps an audience with Lord Simon will spark inspiration. Oh, your iced coffee came with coffee ice cubes. That's incredible. That's a really nice touch, actually. Yeah, that's quality. I'm into that. I hope you enjoy your breakfast, Grumpy. I can scarce remember the last time Glenbrook was host to such a marvelous tourney. Who among the nations will win glory? Which will be known as the fiercest in all of Norzelia? I mean to be there when history is made. All right. I'm glad you're excited about the tournament. A lot of folk have come to the town for a ceremony. I saw a man earlier wandering around in wide-eyed wonder. It's Eridor. I still can't believe Travis and his feral spawn attacked your dear bride-to-be like that. Travis, a well-known brigand, apparently. I'm just glad we got there before any real harm could be done, my lord. The most esteemed personages from each nation will be attending the ceremony, I hear. A veritable melting pot of politics. Such an opportunity to meet and speak with your peers must not be wasted, my lord. Thank you, Saltmonger. I will keep that in mind. This is a really nice string piece. Like, obtained an HP recovery pellet. Yeah. Music reminds me of, I was going to say Ease, but I don't know if that's quite right. I mean, Ease is more guitar focused. Maybe I think I'm thinking of Lunar, the Silver Star. This piece definitely is evocative of like the PlayStation version of that game. Silver Star Story. The game has many, many, many versions. Oh! I'll take that. Anna, what's up? Yep. Okay, don't say anything new if we talk to you again. Don't think I've been up in here. Yeah. Hey. I heard tell Prince Roland is shirking his duties at the castle once again. Thank heavens that shiftless child isn't in line for the crown. Man. Roland has a bad rep. Okay, I can't go here, so I guess I'm thinking that's all for the exploration phase. The banquet will begin soon. Lord Dragon and I had best not arrive late. At the banquet.
Sereno殿、先ほどは世話になりました。町はいかがでしたか、ドラガン殿。領民たちには活気があり、領主を信頼していた。ウォルホート家がどんな家かよくわかった。恐れ入ります。フレデリカは我らの総帥の妹であり、私のいとこにも当たる。それがこのような良き家と結ばれた。大変喜ばしいことです。
Yeah, glad to know I got your approval. And my city.
共同採掘でのドラガン殿のご活躍は聞いています。これからも手を取り合っていきたいものです。さよう。もう過去の戦争にとらわれている時代ではありません。鉄のエスフロスト、塩のハイサンド、そして交易のグリンブルク。互いに敬意を持って平等な関係を築いていきたいものです。
引き捨てなりませんな、ドラガン殿。現在は敬意がなく、平等でもないと聞こえますが。
Uh-oh. Misstep. The music dropped because that was a misstep.
少なくとも平等ではない。貴国が課している円税を見れば明らかだ。
随分はっきりとおっしゃる。ハイサンドへの敬意
Oh no. This could degenerate rather quickly.
セレノア殿はどう思われる?
Oh, no, we have to make a decision here.
高額の円税は古くからの問題です。
塩は女神に従う信徒のみに与えられた女神の加護である。
A divine boon.
ハイサンドが報じる 潮の女神教の基本となる教えだ。ウォルホートの次期当主殿はエスフロストと結んで我らの協議に異議を呈するのですか？
潮はハイサンドの縁故でしか取れません。潮の採掘は貴国が持つ正当な権利です。それを
ならば結構ですが、日和見とも取れますな。
Well, listen. Listen.
確かにそれでは何も言っていないのと同じだ。セレノー殿、我らは皆立場も意見も異なる。
Well, listen, I don't want to, in my first day as Lord, screw up here. So, start a war as soon as I inherit the title. Okay, so he's encouraging me to speak my mind here.
ご了承、どうかお許しいただきたい。ウォルホートはグリンブルク王国の武家。武骨者ゆえ、遠征の話などには疎い。
Thanks, Dad, for the save.
ただ、我らは不義を憎みます。争いは望まぬが、我が領地と領民が不義によって苦しむことがあれば、相手がどんなに兄弟であろうとも、ソ連。
よく知っています。
ご招待いただいた席で失礼しました。しかし、潮をめぐるエスフロストとハイサンドの摩擦は、年を経るごとに大きくなっているのも事実。
I was hoping tensions were diminishing.
広告では自由に潮を買うことさえままならない。私はそんな苦しみから民を解放したいのです。
私とて違法院を預かり、人の命に関わるもの。一個人としては潮の独占が正しいとは思っていない。
Okay, yep, I'm into that.
潮は生きるものすべてに等しく必要なものなのですから。
ライラ殿。
とはいえ、ハイサンドでは潮の女神の信託をいただく教皇のご。
Oh, this is complicated now. That sucks.
今回の共同採掘を機に何かが変わるといいのですが。
Let's hope so.
そうだ。我らはこれから先のことを考えねば。どうかノゼリアに新たな時代をもたらしてもらいたい。
はい。
Whew. That could have gone south. Okay, we have an optional thingy here at Whiteholm. The children of the crown speak to their father, King Regna. Or, the banquet ends without incident, and everyone breathes a sigh of relief. Dragon, however, has something on his mind. Okay, so we've been going for a little over 2 hours. We're only in the middle of chapter 2, not quite through the prologue, but we are going to stop the stream now. I have really, really dug this a lot. I hope everyone has enjoyed as well. So we're going to get back to this. If not tonight, then tomorrow and over the weekend. And when we come back, we'll do this optional Whiteholm scene and then head back to the banquet. But, you know, I hope, again, everyone has enjoyed. If you want to financially support, there's a donate button below in the About description here on Twitch. Warui Deshou is a podcast where I, the Subtle Doctor, and Shadan talk about and analyze anime, chiefly, but also other media, movies, TV shows. If you Google us, you'll find us on any of the podcatchers that you use. We're also on YouTube. Check us out. And yeah, hopefully you'll check out more of Triangle Strategy when we continue with that soon. Peace.